today. So for those of you, for those who may not be familiar with least of these, what would you want them to know about y'all first and foremost?
That we are four good friends from Denton, Texas, who enjoy creating music, and as a band, we try to just represent who we are in that time as we create each period of music, if that makes sense.
Yes, good. That is good. That is helpful. So for y'all's creative process, who typically comes up with the lyrics, and do y'all come up with the lyrics first, or the music first, or how does that all work out?
I would say it's usually music first. Every now and then, I'm not a huge fan. I do most of the lyric writing. For this new EP, I did all of the lyric writing, but when Tyler was in the band, we kind of split up half and half. And I'm not a huge fan of writing lyrics because I get overwhelmed trying to express myself and using the right words and making sure it makes sense and all that stuff. So usually we're writing music, and then I'm thinking, man, I really have to get around to writing some lyrics. But I would say a couple of songs on this EP, I probably had the lyrics. I think two of them, I had the lyrics before we had the music.
Cool. So for your new EP, speaking of that, what was the influence for your theme, which is like the wolves in sheep's clothing?
I would say when okay. This might come off conceited sounding, but it's not. I'm a big people watcher. I just enjoy going places and just looking around and watching and thinking about stuff and imagining why everyone's doing the things they do. So that's not a what I say next might sound like I think I'm above. It's not. It's just that I'm just watching, and but I just right now I feel like it's very common to see people on different teams of political stances, religious views, moral code, all these things, and it seems like no one wants to listen and everyone wants to be right, and it gets overwhelming and stressful for me because you just want to talk about things and learn about different opinions and beliefs. And as soon as you ask a question that sounds like it is attacking, you just get this attack right back. And so I've been trying to learn how to just word my questions to where I sound genuinely interested, not like I'm trying to catch them in some kind of hypocritical stance or lie or anything like that. But in the midst of all that, I've just been starting to realize all of us are just trying to figure out what's going on. And I feel like you always hear, at least in the Christian community, when they talk about the wolves in sheep's clothing, it's the wolf is always the bad guy, and it's especially if you grow up a Christian, when you hear it, it's never just or let me put it this way, it's always about whatever they don't want you to be doing. When you're growing up and you hear someone mention the wolves, oh, that's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's always the things they don't want you to be doing. It's always the enemy. It's always the bad things. And as I've been getting older, I've just been kind of realizing maybe all of us are the wolves, and that sheep's clothing is just the reason why Jesus still loves us and God still loves us. And so not so much that if you're a wolf in sheep's clothing, that has to mean anything bad. It's that sheep clothing is like his righteousness on us, and that's why he still loves us. That's why his grace is just so prevalent in my life and probably everyone's. I mean, nobody's doing things. No one's even coming close to perfect. So if there's any reason why we can receive any kind of love, it's because of what Jesus did, and therefore that is the sheep's clothing. I don't know.
Yeah. I've never thought about it like that. That gives a good.
And here's the thing. I don't even know if that's right.
Yeah.
Like, I just am very much trying to be, here's what's feeling good, here's what seems right, but I don't want to, I think when you just stand on something, as soon as you learn new information, or someone presents something to you in a way that you didn't know, or you didn't think to look at it that way, all that kind of stuff, you limit your ability to just learn from those things and grow. And so for your beliefs, your opinions, and all that stuff to just get set in one way and never change, I think is not necessarily the best thing to be doing. So I'm very much trying to go, this seems neat, this seems right, I like this. And then whenever new stuff comes up, I can go, okay, well, tell me more.
Yeah.
And move along. And yeah, so that's kind of what made the lyrics come about the way they did. It's a bunch of different thoughts and I have no clue what the answers are, just kind of spread out through 6 songs.
How long have you been working with that idea for an EP, and how long have y'all been working on it and everything?
We've probably been working on the EP for about 2 years, and I've been going through this mental growing period. I don't know what you would want to call it. I've been learning to let go of things that used to offend me and just try to learn more about them for maybe 3 years, if that's a way to put it.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. So was there a favorite song to write the lyrics for on the album, or the most fun or something like that?
As far as writing lyrics, the song Paradox is the 3rd song. That one was probably the most fun because I wasn't trying to take any stance on anything. It was just asking questions, but from both sides throughout the song, which made it kind of fun because I got to be kind of sarcastic and just kind of I don't know, the way that you feel, the way it looks, I got to try to represent in words.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun. And then musically, that one was fun too, because we tried to, this whole album, we had a lot of fun doing things that a musical would do. We all like musicals a lot.
Oh,
and
cool. So, that's interesting.
Musicals are awesome. So one of the things we want to do is give, in a musical, different characters will have different motifs. So whenever Jean Valjean in Les Mis is singing something, there's a melody that represents him, and later he might not even be on screen, but they're talking about him, and you hear that melody creep into the music. And so certain melodies and themes represent different characters and themes, and so we wanted to do that with this. And I don't know, the Paradox just came out with we'd do some counter melodies in a verse with the vocals and bringing in certain instrumentation. That was just a lot of fun to try to, I guess I would say it's the most theatrical feeling for me, which has made it a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's really cool. Do you have a favorite lyric of yours out of all the albums that y'all have done?
Out of all our albums, I would say On Change Will Come, the song and the album, there's a line on it that says, I got myself lost. My compass is a watch. Who knows where it's leading? And picking favorites of anything is hard for me, especially when it's something of my own, because then I start to get nervous on when it feels conceited or anything like that. But what I do like about those lyrics is the way I feel about life most of the time. If I was to be trying to, if let's say a compass and north is the direction I want to be going, if that was actually a watch, I'd just be going in circles. And I don't necessarily feel like I'm constantly going in circles, but I feel like I'm constantly afraid that I'm going in circles.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like, what's funny is when I wrote it, I was just kind of like, neat. I didn't really think about it. And then over time, I've been talking with friends or thinking about things, and I'll almost want to say that line to make a point of what I'm trying to explain.
Mm-hmm.
I usually won't, because I don't want to quote myself, but there's obviously some feelings I have inside that those words represent well.
Mm-hmm. So through your, like, you said you've kind of had, like, 3 years of trying not to make a stand on things, but listen to all sides of situations and stuff. Through that time, has there been, like, specific, like, pastors or theologians or friends that have been helpful during that?
Yeah. All the guys in the band, of course. And then the church that I go to, I almost feel like I use the band members sometimes, because when we're in the band room just kind of hanging out and talking, I'm always asking them their thoughts on all these different things, just trying to learn more and get different views of a situation. And I almost feel bad, because during the week I'll be thinking, oh my gosh, okay, I can't wait to talk to them about this or this. Mm-hmm. And I hope I don't annoy them. I don't think I do. It's not too overbearing. Describing it may sound worse than it really is. And then I really enjoy listening to the Bad Christian podcast.
Yeah.
Matt McDonald from the Classic Crime has one called Don't Feed the Trolls. Mm-hmm. And Matt's so fun to talk to. Him and Bradley Hathaway are some of the most interesting people to spend time with and talk to, because they will always say what you would have never thought of about a situation. Mm-hmm. And then they're just so good with words that it even sounds pretty as they say it. Yeah. So just like, oh, I would have never thought of it that way, and that was very eloquent as well. And so it's just like constant that. So I'll talk with them every once in a while. I don't live near them, but if I ever am having thoughts on something I want to get their opinions on, I'll ask them. Again, I don't want to bug people too much. I just enjoy. I'll see something and I'll go, oh my gosh. Now, what does someone else think about that? And then there's certain people I enjoy asking.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Bradley Hathaway's new album. I was like, I need to get anyone and everyone's opinion on it. Like, I just wanted to ask and ask and ask.
And I've been, so we did our first tour with him was a while ago. I do not remember when exactly. It was definitely over a year ago. And he had the mixes done. The masters, it wasn't mastered yet, and he showed us the mixes on that trip. And I was just losing my mind on this song. Luckily, I got to spend a lot of time with him and ask him all about it. Mm-hmm. But for the past year or so, I've just been waiting for it to come out to watch. Like what you posted online is what I've been waiting to see, because I knew people were gonna be like, "What?" What? Yeah. It gives me goosebumps though.
Yeah.
It really. There's certain parts where the lyrics and the way he says it, I just freeze up.
Yep. Definitely a new thing. But speaking of touring with him and stuff, has there been a favorite show of yours? I know you're not big on favorites, but just a favorite show that you've done.
Probably. Let me think. I need to start just coming up with answers for some of these.
No, you're good.
Just so I know in the future if someone I picked blue as my favorite color. I'm fine with I finally went ahead and said, yeah, that one will be it.
Oh, good. I wasn't going to ask, but that's good to have.
Yeah, so blue. Now, but I need to just do this with some other things, too. I would say... shoot, I don't know. I can't do it. There's so many fun ones. And you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna pick the from now on the Levi the Poet, Mouth of the South. Were they rival choir yet? I don't think they were. Not yet. So Mouth of the South, Levi the Poet, Red Sweater Lullaby, and us at J&J's. That was one of the that'll be it. That's my new favorite show.
Hey, that was my favorite. So
it was cool just seeing all those people slammed into that basement and just everyone singing along and Levi coming up on the Son of the Kingdom.
Yep.
It was a blast. Yeah, I have a video of that on my Instagram. And I definitely have just been nostalgic and scrolled all the way back to where it was and watched it before.
It was an awesome show. Did they close down the basement part of JJ's?
They don't do shows anymore. Okay. I don't know what they're doing. I actually don't live in Denton. Everyone else does.
Okay.
And when I'm there, I'm just kind of doing band stuff or just hanging out with them. And we have not... Oh, we were getting coffee the other day right next to it, but I didn't go inside, so I'm not quite sure what's down there.
Yeah. Cool. Are there, like, specific band influences that have influenced Least of These as a whole?
Absolutely. I know for me and TJ, we're both huge fans of the band Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And they're one of the biggest influences just in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just musically, just I think listening to their music and their lyrics and just going to see them live, getting the documentary, all that stuff as I was just growing up as a teenager, it definitely played a part in how I was being molded. But TJ is also a big fan of theirs. So Thursday is one that I don't know if it necessarily shows in our music all the time. But it definitely is there as far as a vibe, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all love As Cities Burn. They're one of our favorite bands for sure. And then the same goes as Thrice. Everyone's a big Thrice fan. Eric and I really like AFI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the other guys feel about AFI. But Eric and I both really, really like him. He likes them probably more than me. I kind of tapped out at December Underground.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of think of it as Answer That and Stay Fashionable to Sing the Sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But he says everything after is good too.
Yeah.
I was listening to different stuff by then.
Yeah.
But I would say the Thursday, Thrice, and As Cities Burn, Under Oath, everything big between 2000 and 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably all love that about the same.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It was. I'm not sure what happened, but it made for a great time in music.
Mm-hmm.
MySpace probably helped as much as we won't want to admit it. Just stuff. I actually, funny enough, I've told him this. When I was in 8th grade, I was on PureVolume.com, which we have a song on right now. We premiered Overcast at Pure Volume, so you can go listen to it like that. But I was on Pure Volume, and they used to have this click here for more artists like this, and it would just take you to one. It picked for you.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what I was on, who I was on, but I clicked that, and the next one was Bradley Hathaway, and it was like his first little thing of music, and it wasn't even what's on his all the hits so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember listening to it, thinking it was hilarious and cool, and I showed a couple friends, and then all that kind of went away. But then he blew up a little bit later.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny that that I just happened to know. I Play Radio Play. Did you ever listen to him? Play Radio Play. He was kind of like electronic pop stuff.
Oh, okay.
He was from Fort Worth, and I kind of knew of him from some other local bands.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that he was doing solo music just the same way in Pure Volume, just hitting find something else, and I was like, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I found Silverstein and Hawthorne Heights that way too.
That's how I found Silverstein, not specifically with Pure Volume, but just like through related artists online.
Yeah. I don't do that anymore, but it worked, I guess.
Yeah. I used to spend forever on YouTube, and I would just go to the related videos, and that's how I found music, like, before.
I've found music. You want to know something funny? I was talking to my sister about this the other day. I didn't have a computer until college because I didn't want one. I don't remember wanting one or caring that I didn't have one, but I don't know if my parents would have given me one even if I wanted it. But my sister was really into building websites and doing all that, so she had her own, and so I was just like, I'll use hers if I have to. But I remember downloading live video of Seosin just because I wanted to watch them live, and YouTube wasn't even a thing yet. And the other day, I was on YouTube, and I was just thinking of stuff to watch, and I thought, I want to try to find that old Seosin video, and I found it in like 2 seconds, and I was just like, man, I had to go on to LimeWire, type in Seosin live, and then just read titles and hope it wasn't it downloaded. It didn't wait like an hour. And then click it, and maybe it was something okay, like okay video quality, or it was porn. I didn't know. It was so scary. My sister, I'll say it, it's funny. My sister accidentally downloaded porn on LimeWire one time. She was trying to download a Boy Meets World. And it said Boy Meets World, but it definitely wasn't. So,
That's funny.
I just think it's, YouTube makes it so much easier. It's
That's
less
funny.
adventurous, I guess, but it sure
It is less adventurous. Takes some of the fun out of it, I guess. But
yeah, and some of the stress.
Yeah. Well, do you have like a first favorite band that you ever found that just like changed your life?
I'd say it was Thursday, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because before Thursday, I mostly listened to just like hardcore punk stuff. And Thursday was probably the first band that I heard that was still had political related songs because I was super into the whole politics thing then. And who would still address politics and just issues going on like that, but they also would get a little bit more emotional and a little bit more personal relationships, and then the music slowed down quite a bit. Where it's just when I was younger, if you just played drums really fast and yelled, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like zero effort I needed from you other than play the drums fast and yell as loud as you can and about stuff. And when I found the whole like kind of hardcore punk scene, I was just so excited. And so everything else outside of that seemed ridiculous. And I don't know, maybe I feel like the scene back then kind of encouraged you to immediately ascribe to that idea that this is the best and everything else is stupid. But Thursday was definitely the first one that had a change of pace musically and made me, but I didn't think was stupid, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. What album now have you been listening to that you can't get enough of?
I know I've been listening to PM Today, their album In Medias Rest, something like that. Might be in Spanish or half in Spanish. I feel like it had a Spanish word in it. But I've been listening to that one a lot, and they were so good. The lyrics on that album are brutal, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever listened to it.
I haven't. I'll have to check them out.
Their first album, you get the vibe, yeah, these are probably a Christian band. The second album, you get the vibe, yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They're not anymore. And here's the thing, that, for non-Christians, them have non-religious people who liked PM Today's first album, or the first album I heard, I don't even know if that's the first one, and then the Hurricane, that album, for anyone who wasn't a Christian listening to that one, to go to the second one, it was just as brutal, I think, for them, because the way he describes leaving his faith is just, that's one of the main reasons maybe why I've been enjoying listening to it lately, is just because, every time I hear these lines, I'm just like, oh God, wow, like, it's so painful, man. I feel like he doesn't, you know what it is too? It's not this sarcastic, like, I used to believe this way and I don't now, and I was just stupid. It's this it's the way he captured it is so much, this is why I'm giving up, and it hurts me to do this. So it's just, you listen and you're just like, geez, this was well written, and it just really bums me out. But then, like, at the same time, I'm like, are you doing okay, man?
Yeah. Need some help.
It made me really just want to keep going through it lately. And then the Kendrick Lamar album, that one's awesome. That's like everyone's go-to right now is his album. It's good. It's good. The production on it is fantastic. I need to look up who did the production. Somebody will probably tell me after they hear this. Yeah.
I've been trying to get into it, but it's not like I've never listened to much hip-hop, so I know I don't get it. So I just need to keep listening to it until I get it. But
did you ever listen to The Listener before?
Yes. Yes.
His hip hop was awesome.
Okay, yeah. The only hip hop I really like, or I guess actively listen to, is like Humble Beast and those guys. But anyways, what's your preferred way of listening to music? Like headphones, CDs, records?
I like records because you can't. It's harder to be mobile. So you got to just sit down and listen to music. Yeah. And then you get the big artwork and it looks pretty. I really enjoy that because it's fun to, especially as someone who creates like albums. It's cool to just make this thing and then you put all this work into it. And when it's done, you can hold it in your hands. Yeah. And so it's fun, like listening to like a Bright Eyes vinyl, and then holding the little cardboard thing and reading the song titles and who mixed it and who mastered it, and just being like, man, this was just nothing. Then they captured sound, and then made all these other pictures and all these other parts of art, and then it all became this whole package. That's a lot of fun, and I wish I did that more. I used to do that a lot. That's part of why I think I didn't even want a computer growing up, is whenever I just get ready for bed, which at least for me when I was a kid, I went to my room and then was up for like 4 more hours. I just love just sitting there and just listening to music, and draw pictures. Yeah. It's such a weird thing to think about now. I'm just going to draw. Yeah. Do you not have anything else to do? I would think for myself, not for someone who's an artist. Right. But to just, I want to listen to music and draw. It's like, I'm just going to throw it away when I'm done. And I wish I did that more. Yeah. I can see that. Well, do y'all have plans for touring after the release of Wolves? Or have you thought about an LP yet, doing another one of those, or? Yeah, I'm already excited to write new music. I don't know when any of it will come to fruition, just because we're going to probably push the EP for at least a year. Right. And so I don't know when anything else will come. But I definitely am excited to write again, and me and Eric have been toying around with some ideas. We are going to be playing at Audio Feed Festival this year. Awesome. And I believe we should be playing like 4 or 5 shows on the way up to Audio Feed. Okay. So those dates will be on our Facebook at some point. And then we have no tours really planned until probably the end of summer.
Okay, awesome. And what's the date of your release show?
May 13th.
May 13th.
It's whenever we are doing this interview.
Yeah.
It would be the Saturday, I believe, following this interview.
Yes. And that'll be in Denton, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, those are pretty much all the questions I have. Is there anything else that you would like everyone to know?
The album comes out May 19th. It would be great if you bought it or listened to it. I think it should be on all the streaming, like Spotify stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool if you listen on there too. I guess one thing that would, whenever people are listening to this album and you read the lyrical content or listen to the lyrical content, just know that I'm not trying to make any kind of outrageous points or comments or anything. Mm-hmm. It's basically me thinking and then me going, okay, now I have to write lyrics for this song, so how can I take these thoughts and just make it work for a song?
Right.
So I'm excited for it to come out to see what the reaction will be, but I also have a little bit of concern that people might get upset at certain things. Mm-hmm. But I'm not trying to do that at all, mm-hmm. and we aren't at all. We've talked everything I say in there. Our band has talked about a lot, mm-hmm. and we wouldn't want to release it if it was to make anyone feel exposed, caught off guard, offended, or hurt. We just want to put out conversations we've been having, basically, mm-hmm. and that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else?
Facebook.com/weareleastofthese.
Good.
That's where you can find out all our stuff. And we have a website. I think it's wearelot.verb.com or something like that. That's why just go to the Facebook one. You can click the website.
Leads you everywhere else. Cool. Well,
yeah.
Thank you. This has been awesome.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now.
That's fine.